They're claiming that a plane did not hit the Pentagon, and they're claiming that Dick Cheney ordered a stand down of the military so that a plane could hit the Pentagon, except it wasn't a plane. It was a cruise missile. And even though there were no witnesses to a plane hitting the Pentagon, there was a witness, they said, who testified that it was a cruise missile that hit the Pentagon. The first thing I did was check out this witness. That was my first step. And I found that it was Mike Walter, a correspondent journalist for the newspaper at the time called USA Today. He was interviewed the following day in front of the Pentagon by CNN, where he stated that the United Airlines, the American Airlines passenger plane, which he could plainly see by its logo, banked and lined up with the Pentagon as he watched in horror from his car on the highway in front of the Pentagon, and hit the Pentagon like a cruise missile, he said. But whoever it was that was putting out these hoaxes under the broad title of 9/11 Truth claimed that he said it was a cruise missile. This told me that something fishy is going on here, and I began to wonder who's putting out these theories, collectively known as the 9/11 Truth movement, propagated by the well-known video Loose Change. And I quickly found out it was, among others, some people associated with veterans groups, which is a euphemism for peace movement. At the time, I didn't know that these peace movements were under the control of left-wingers. Over the next several months, I got an education. I found out these are communists who have infiltrated various movements and created various movements associated with the peace movement. So when I put two and two together, I realized, you know what, this is probably the same type of propaganda behind global warming. So I began to trash the notion of man-made global warming. I began to trash it even before I had my facts. And today I have my facts. And then it occurred to me that, you know what, this is the same as the population bomb. This is the same as the theories surrounding the assassination of JFK. And I realized that the leftists create one hoax after another, disinformation. I eventually found such things as the source of the rumor, which is not a rumor. When you plant disinformation, it's not a rumor. The disinformation plant claiming falsely that the United States government created the AIDS virus and infected black people with it. Then everything came together when I heard the interview of Yuri Bezmenov, a KGB defector, who explained where the Soviets put their money and their manpower. It was in disinformation, and it was in promoting those who would embrace the communist agenda and smearing those who resisted the communist agenda. I found out it was the same bunch that was promoting Al Gore, the same bunch that smeared Tom DeLay, the same bunch was now smearing George W. Bush, I soon found out that this was being paid for, at least in part, by George Soros, who I thought smelled fishy. It turns out he is extremely fishy. So this is a heads up to whoever will listen that America is being pumped with disinformation on a major scale. They have extreme influence with many media outlets such as ABC News, CNN, CBS. This disinformation campaign publishes book after book after book, all filled with BS. These people are in our schools, from elementary school up to college level. These people have infiltrated and hijacked and taken over charitable endowments such as Carnegie, Annenberg, these various funds, endowments that you see sponsoring television programs, many of which are associated with PBS, public broadcasting. Now I know that much of what you hear on NPR is left propaganda and not truth at all. This movement is what put Barack Obama in the White House. This is how Obama got, quote, elected, unquote. He was never elected to anything. He is the front man for this subversion movement from the left. He is a communist, a Marxist. He is the very thing that we have been fighting for decades under the name of the Cold War.